Good morning, everyone. Steve Murray here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Our guest today will be Dave Pimper, President of Lazarus Coaching. We're going to talk a little bit about one of our more successful programs ever, which is Social Security claiming, and Social Security claiming seminars still continues to be a hot topic with folks that we all want to talk with, and it's a way that we can actually help our clients to get the best benefits and meet new clients at the same time. So very beneficial subject matter here this morning. As always, we have a large group. So during the course of the event, there'll be a couple polls that will pop up. If you can answer those quickly, that would be helpful. If you have any questions, we'll get those asked and answered also as quickly as possible for you. Again, we'll have the expert here, Dave Pimper, here in a bit. Before he gets started, a couple of things that I wanted to make sure that you are all aware of. And so one of them, of course, is our little business builder programs. As you all know, there's been some movement on the DOL ruling, and what that means in general for us, we don't know yet. We've been acting for a certain way for a little while here, trying to stay in compliance with the rule, and we're going to continue to do that at least through the period of time when the DOL can answer and try and appeal the strike down of their rule, which is about another 35-40 days here. So we'll see what develops on that side. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to do things and be in compliance as much as we can. And these two programs we think are in good compliance. So we wanted to maintain what we do there and want to bring those to your attention. So a couple of very basic programs. One is that when you refer people to us, we're paying you what we call RPM, or referred producer money. It's a very simple program. When you refer somebody and they get appointed with us, we send you out a check for $50. When they do business with us, we pay a bonus to you as an appreciation of that referral. We pay those out quarterly, and they are the biggest checks that we send out in our company to producers right now. So that adds up to some pretty good dollars, maybe more than I thought that would when we first put it in place. But, we can spend a lot of money on a lot of advertising and not get as great a results as we get from the RPM program. And I'd rather send you guys and gals checks and send them to advertisers any day of the week. So I love that RPM program. And appreciate everyone out there that has been kind enough to refer producers to us. So bottom line, if you know someone that you might benefit from, our services, incentives, these webinars, our product, anything that we can do to help. And if you think that you know someone that might benefit from it, have them give us a call. Let us know who they are. We'll put them up in the system as a RPM for you. And as they do business, you'll start getting checks as well. So take advantage of that program. Marketing reimbursement, again, a very simple program. When you do business with us, money goes into your RPM program. It varies a little bit depending on the product type. But the bottom line is you can call Shelby at any time and say, hey, what is my current marketing reimbursement balance? And when you spend money, we're going to match what you spend dollar for dollar. So great little program, very simple. Again, designed to help you grow your business and to reward you for doing business with IAMS. Another way that we reward folks, I'm just looking at the list of folks that are here, and it looks like of the 60 or 70 people aboard, we've got probably 15 or 16 that to me would appear to be new to us. So this is directed really at you all. When you get appointed with IAMS and you do business with IAMS, you can select different levels that you want to claim your new producer bonus at, and those bonuses are generally built to help you grow your business. And so I would call your attention, especially since we're talking about Social Security here today, to the 300,000 point level. We'll get you the Social Security program in hand, and we'll also do a 3,000 piece mailing for you at that level. At the 500,000 level, you can choose the 4,000 piece mailing, which is actually a little bit more than we normally would recommend for Social Security claiming seminars, but it'll make sure you got plenty of folks there to talk with. And it will also get you the coaching with Dave, as well as all the information that you need, including PowerPoints and access to, all of the information that you need, software that you need, and access to ask questions when needed. So great little program. You can see we also do a Ritz-Carlton travel package there. We do we'll throw money in your marketing reimbursement account. There's a lot of different things we'll do, but generally speaking, they're all designed around helping you grow your business. If you're having experienced times on the back office support side, I would encourage you to give us a shot. Every agent, every producer that we do business with is tells me over and over again that we are the cream of the crop in terms of the assistance that we make available to our producers from what we call the submission to commission process. So whether you're looking for help on the front end with case design, or kind of when you submit that piece of business and making sure that it's set up and as clean as a whistle so it can go through the system as quickly as possible, all the product training stuff, licensing things that we need to do kind of on the front end, we're really sharp at that and going to make sure that that gets done right for you, and then keeping you in touch with what your business is doing through the system on a daily, weekly, 2 weekly, hopefully not much longer than that before you get your business through the system. We're going to be really good at that, at keeping you informed along the way so that there's no delays that can't be taken care of as far as assisting with the process of getting the money over, getting the forms right, all of that needs to be done. There just isn't anybody out there better at it than IAMS, and I'm not saying that in a vacuum. That's kind of what our producers tell us over and over again, and even our competitors. I think if you ask them, hey, what's the strong suit of different organizations, IAMS would probably be the one from the service standpoint that's probably considered about the best out there. So we make your life easy once you do business with us, and we try and make it easy to help you do business with us. We try and reward you for doing business with us, and make that just a pleasant journey for you all along the way. We all know we're still dealing with insurance companies, and things are going to go haywire from time to time. We're going to try and minimize that as well. So we're really easy to do business with, and we want to help you and make it as seamless and as easy as possible. So that's really the bottom line there. A couple things that you need to know about our creative solutions team. We spent a lot of time and effort and money in putting some things together for you that are designed and have been kind of field tested along the marketing solutions. So, what I tell folks is, you don't need to create the wheel again. We've got the wheel created. We just get it branded and out for you so that you can use it, whether that's a website, whether that's your Facebook marketing, whether that's your business letterhead, your business card. We really have gone the extra mile here to make it very easy, inexpensive, and inviting for you to take advantage of the marketing that we can put in place for you, because it works. And I can't stress that enough. If you're not, if people aren't calling you because of some of the marketing stuff that you're doing, then let us help. Let us get you to get established in your area as kind of a go-to person with a good professional image and some good kind of what I call passive marketing. And we can do some active marketing and help you do some active marketing as well. And we can use marketing reimbursement dollars to make that as easy for you as possible to do and as painless, and get your name out there so that every once in a while you can wake up in the morning and somebody actually has a message in and they need to talk with you about buying an annuity. They need to talk with you about some of the other things that you do, or they maybe just want to find out a little bit more about you. That's what you need to get happening in your business to really get in the mid and long term get successful. It's not an overnight process, but it's a process that works, and we can help you with it. And if somebody's not helping you with it, or if you're out trying to find an independent marketing firm that doesn't know your business and doesn't know our business and trying to get them to do it for you, you're going to spend a lot of time creating things that may not be as on point as you need them to be to get the proper result, to get people actually looking your way. So let us help you with that. We've got a team, Tasia and her team over there do a great job, get great compliments on what they do, how they do it, and how they kind of build based on input from you exactly something that is in the image that you want it to be. Because that's building an image is not hard, but building an image the way that you want it to be, it takes a little bit more effort and pays much more in the way of dividends. So let us help you with that. If you haven't called Tasia, if you haven't called anybody and talked to our creative solutions team, I would recommend that you take some time, let them show you some of the things that they've done, let them help you along. And this is a part of our business that was really established to help our agents. So we're not looking to make money on this. This is just a way to help our agents and then build their business and attract good, solid producers to us. And they've done a great job of that. So take advantage of our creative solutions team. One thing that I'll mention on the website, and I know you can't see it real well, it depends on how big your screen is, but if you look at that screenshot of our website and go over where you see support, what I would recommend that you do is you go to www.iamsinc.com, go click on that support button, and look at the IAMS library. Just that alone is worth half an hour of your time to see what we have on there. That was put together for producers, by producers, and for producers. Has every imaginable thing that you might use, whether it's calculation links that you can use, or referral builders, all kinds of documentation that you can use, lots of things that you can send out to your clients to help build your business. That alone section is worth you taking just a few minutes to go look at that website. So if you haven't been there, again, go to www.iamsinc.com, go to support and look at the IAMS library and say, gosh, what of this can I use? You're going to find some great stuff out there. Beyond that, we've got all of our annuity grid out there. We've got our annuity search engine. We've got our term search engine, our term quoter tools. Most of the forms that you might need are online. So it really is a website designed to help you through every facet of your business. So eventually what you'll see on there too is, and the reason we have it password protected right now is that eventually you'll be able to look at your business on there. We're in the process of getting that in development right now as well. So if you haven't looked at that website, please do. If you're not using the Retirement Analyzer, I hope that you'll take some time and give Marcus Soller a call. DOL or no DOL, this tool is a really great way for you to work with your clients and kind of help them understand where they are towards meeting their goals on their retirement journey, and which ones are realistic, which ones aren't. How you can help them, things that maybe are missing, maybe how their portfolio doesn't agree with what their risk situation is. A lot of things that the Retirement Analyzer does. It's a very comprehensive program, very illustrative in terms of helping clients better understand, where they are, where they want to be, and how they need to go about getting there, and to have that documentation in your file to the depth of what the Retirement Analyzer goes for you and for your client is just beyond anything that you'd ever need. And the nice thing about the Retirement Analyzer right now is that we're making that available for our producers at zero cost. So give Marcus a call, say, hey, let me take a look at that, Marcus. Walk me through how it works, how I can use it with my clients, what it does that maybe some of the programs don't do, and see if that's something that you want to use. And if it is, we'll make it available to you and let you try it and see if it works for you. And again, that's at no cost to producers of insurance agency marketing services. So take advantage of that as well. If you're not familiar with IAMS Wealth, I hope that you'll take a minute and give young Charles a call. He does a really great job with walking our folks through what the system does, how he can help you grow your business using the wealth management part of the business. If you've maybe considered getting to 65 and you haven't, he can walk you through and help you understand the quickest and easiest ways to do that. If you have your 65 and maybe are not as productive with it as you'd like to be because you don't feel like it's a good fit, your current RIA is not a good fit for what you're trying to get accomplished, we can help you with that as well. If you'd like him to give you a call, you can simply check yes on this poll, and he or Mike Hansen will give you a call. Glad to walk you through what IAMS Wealth does, how they do it, how they're different from other RIAs. We are particularly well designed, I think, for folks that are maybe the base of their business, the core of their business is insurance, annuities, long-term care, life, single premium life, but maybe want to begin to add that wealth management part of the pie to their overall practice. We'd love to help you with that. We can make it easy. We're particularly well designed to do that. If you want to learn more about that, simply check yes on that poll, and Charles or Mike will give you a quick call. If that's not something you've ever considered, or maybe you think now that the DOL is dead, it's not something that you even want to consider, I think you should reconsider that. But if that's the case, just hit no on that poll, and we won't bother you at all with that. We can help you strengthen client relationships. I think you'll find that you keep more clients happier when you offer them a little bit more well-rounded approach to your business, and we're glad to help you through every facet of that. So looks like everybody has been really quick to vote. I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. I do see that there are a couple of you that are unable to vote. What I'm going to say there is give me a call here at the office. If you want to talk with Charles, I'll glad to be put you in touch with the team over there. Number, of course, is 800-255-5055. You can certainly just give us a call. We'll be glad to put you in touch with them. So I'm going to close that poll out. Thank you for your quick voting. So our next academy is coming up here at the end of next week, and so that one is closed out. The next one that we're going to have will actually be here in Omaha, and that will be May 23rd to the 25th, I believe, are the dates on that. It is in the latter part of May, I will say that for sure. And then we'll have 2 more academies before the year is out. You can see there on the screen before you some of the things that we talk about there. Some of the things that aren't on there is kind of, I think, the fact that when you look around the industry right now and look at what other marketing groups are doing, I think we've become rather well recognized within the industry for building an academy that's built around the sales and marketing part of your business. We do a little bit of time on product, but that's not our main focus at all. So we've got 4 top producers there. I think that's key. They'll be sprinkled throughout the 2 days or 2.5 days of time that we're there. They'll be available during the social parts of the event as well to talk with. And there's just nothing better than having folks that are doing the same thing that you are doing and doing it successfully, give you their ideas and their thoughts on how to grow their business. We do have a couple seminars that we make available, actually 3. We have some very specific product approaches that have worked very well for a number of our producers through the years, and we'll talk about those with John Enting. We also have building your personal bank, and that is put on by one of our top producers, Anthony Lawrence. So a lot of good things happen there with top producers. We'll talk about the regulatory environment, which I think we'll have a little bit more clarity on what's happening with the DOL coming up here shortly. So that'll be something to be up to speed on. We spend a lot of time talking about some of the great sales approaches that have worked with our folks over the last 32 years. So we'll go over what's working today, how it's working. We'll talk about some sales and marketing things that everyone should be doing. And the agenda is pretty simple. We bring in on a Wednesday. We have dinner. We'll go over some things that night. We'll go all the next day, have dinner again. Then we'll get up Friday morning, go for half a day, and we'll get you back to where you're headed. We're going to take care of your expenses of travel. We'll take care of your hotel. We'll take care of the meals while you're there. The cost of time is really what you're going to be donating there. You're going to be out of your office for basically 3 days. So look at your calendar, see if maybe May might work for you. If it would, or if you want to come to one of our academies in the early fall or late fall, you need to get registered now, and we'll just give you a call and see if the dates and times work for you. So I should have put that poll up. And I didn't, so I'm going to throw that up here right now. So if you want me to send the registration, I'll ask you to vote rather quickly here because we want to get moved on. If you want to see the current agenda and get a registration information, registration link, simply hit yes on that poll. We'll get it out to you right after this event. You look at the agenda. If it looks like a good fit for you, then you can send the registration back, and we'll give you a call here over the next day or two, or probably more like the next week or two for the May event. And then we'll also get you on the calling list for later in the year if those dates work better for you. So you're not making any commitments by putting yes. If you put no, then we won't bother you regarding academies coming up, at least not in the course of 2018. So let us know what your thought is there. We've got a couple of you that haven't voted yet. Again, it may be because you're unable to vote. If you're just listening and not able to view, if that's the case, give me a call here at the office. The 800 number again is 800-255-5055. Question has come up. If I've got some folks that look like they have been in rather recently. So the idea would be that we'd like to get folks in that have not been in. If you want to come back in, I certainly understand that. We can make that available to you as well. But I would prefer, for purposes of this poll, that you put no there and just give me a call personally after the webinar here today or sometime over the next couple of days. And again, that number is 800-255-5055. Just ask for me, Steve Murray, and I'll gladly go over that with you if you've been in here in the last year or so. Again, thank you for your quick voting. A lot of interest in that, which doesn't surprise me. Watch for those of you that voted yes. Watch for an email. Probably go out here later today, and it'll have the agenda and the registration form on there for you. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. And I think we haven't yet announced the location for our next marketing summit, which will be in the summer of 2019. Qualification is ongoing for that right now. I can tell you that we are going to be in a warm, sunny location. Right now we're trying to hammer out the final details of that, but we'd love to have you out there. We have converted that to as much fun as we can have and still do a little business along the way. We'll be at a sunny beach location. Again, we'll take care of the expenses of you and your guests. We'd love to have you join that. For those of you that have been to those in the past, that's a great opportunity to relax, enjoy yourself, meet some folks that do exactly what you do, while at the same time maybe picking up a little new knowledge along the way. So we'd love to have you at our next marketing summit, and watch for details on that. I would say probably within the next 2 weeks. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is introduce Dave Pimper. Dave is going to talk about Social Security, going to talk about claiming opportunities, going to talk about seminar opportunities available with that. As we lead into that, I want to say a couple of nice things about Dave. First, the first nice thing I want to say is he's been a top producer, and he's done a great job of working with many of our top producers here over the last 12 years or so that we've known Dave. So he's joined us on almost every top producer's escape that he was able to join us on, which is great. Beyond that, he has done probably 400 to 500 seminars himself, and he's still doing them right now. So great resource for us and our producers. I would say right now more than half of his seminars are probably on Social Security claiming. In general, we've had very, very good luck as a seminar approach, which we've had many over the last 30 years. There have probably been none that have been more successful and more widely successful than our Social Security claiming. So be a great opportunity to tune in, listen to what Dave has to say, learn a little bit more about a great opportunity. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Dave Pimper.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate those kind remarks. I've been in business for a while, 62 years old, but the business has been 25. And, it's interesting because the business is certainly changing. The insurance industry is changing. The investment brokerage industry is changing. And Social Security claiming is changing. And that gives us a great opportunity to be able to work with prospects talking about Social Security claiming strategies. So I will just say this, is that seminar marketing is a way to go in and get in front of the prospect. So knowing Social Security does not make us more money, but being able to portray that to someone in the whole financial plan, it's a pretty big deal. It's pretty important to the average and above average investor or insurer of how that Social Security is going to fit with their other assets. And what's interesting is that not everybody needs an annuity. Not everybody needs life insurance. Not everybody needs a fixed annuity. But you know what? 94% of the people need Social Security because they get it. They have those 40 quarterly credits to be able to go on in and to get a pension from the government. I just got done with the appointment just a few minutes before kind of jumping on board, and he came in because of Social Security, but we just did business because I knew a lot about Social Security. So what happens is that Social Security is we do not make money from giving advice on Social Security. We make money by showing a complete financial picture of where their assets lie and how it all works together in their best interest. Okay? Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, type them on in and we will answer those here at the end. We're going to be done here in about a half an hour on the actual webinar about Social Security claiming and seminar marketing. So let's go in and talk about baby boomers. That's who's looking at Social Security right now and how to maximize the income. So one of the reasons that those 58-year-olds to 67-year-olds, why they come to a workshop. I mean, I have a workshop tonight. Got a workshop tonight and I got a workshop Thursday night. I do workshops 9-10 months out of the year, and I've done it forever since the mid 80s. I mean, I've done over 470 public workshops. And so what happens is that Social Security, no doubt, as far as kind of a hook of grabbing that person's attention when they get the invitation. Just like I talked with one of the people that are doing seminars right now, Jerry down in Arizona. He has 21. His room maxes out at 22, and he's got 21 people coming tonight, and he's got 20 people coming on Thursday night. 21 on Thursday, and next Tuesday he's got 20 or 21, and we're going to actually overbook this just a little bit because there's always a few people that do not show up, but it's a pretty hot topic. And that pre-retired and retired, yeah, those are the folks that have the money, and we're going to show them. I always say that claiming your Social Security is the worst water cooler talk, corporate water cooler talk. Hey, I claim my Social Security at 62 and you should too. No, there's a person claims it when it's best for them. But people come into a workshop like this and they want to know here's the questions they want to have answered. They want to know, when should I apply for benefits? What's the best age to apply? Okay? Coordinating spousal benefits, the basics of Social Security. If you take early, you get less. You get earlier, but you get less. If you delay, you get more. Don't get it now, but you get more. The survivor benefit, divorce benefit, 2015 tax reform. We had big tax reform this year, but there was some Social Security reform in 2015. So they just want to know, is it going to be there for them? That's important. Now, we didn't see much of this in the paper or in magazines, publications 10, 15 years ago. This happens to come from Kiplinger's on December of 2015. Yeah, popular Social Security strategies nixed. Now, they really weren't nixed. There was a quick phase out for file and suspend. There was an 8-year phase out for restricted application, which we'll talk a little bit more about. So why seminars? Why seminars to market this? Now, and I'm going to just digress a touch here. The way we set this up, because we're an FMO like IAMS is actually going to help on the cost. I get paid from coaching cost, not from an overrider in the hierarchy of the producer. And we did not want to cut into that producer's commission. So I get paid, but IAMS goes in, if you qualify, they're going to pay for about 3/4. I get paid $150 per coaching session. We coach 5 sessions out, $750. You pay $195. That's your cost for 5 sessions and getting all the information, all the track A through Z of the Social Security seminar from myself, okay? But what happens is that the information is timely. It's timely. There are some new Social Security laws at work. Age demographics, if you're working pre-retired and retired, perfect. I want to get them right before they retire or right when they retire. And those are not dinner workshops. Those are educational. We have them at libraries. We have them at colleges, museums, somewhere where it's educational in nature. I always say the prospects need us more than we need them. That may not be true, but they'll hunt you down for the free report. Pretty high conversion to get appointments. And there's a knack, there's a skill of transitioning from Social Security to actual closing the business, which we've got a pretty good track that enables you to do that. So those are some of the slides, not of course all of them. It's about an hour presentation, but people are asking, will it be there for me? And yes, it will. There's a big misconception about bankruptcy going broke. And we go more into depth on this, but remember, it's a pay-as-you-go system, right? Yeah. So when it's a pay-as-you-go system, with the trust fund, the $2+ trillion trust fund, if that was defunct, which is supposed to be more outlays here very shortly, be done in 2033 or 2034, so 15, 16, 17 years down the road, but it's still the people that are working are putting into payroll taxes. Now, in very simple terms, when I'm teaching Social Security, I want you to understand all of the basics. The really tough questions you can certainly call me on, and I'll most likely have that answer. I'll look it up on the government website and get the answer. But just know this, there's 3 dates or ages that are vital to Social Security claiming. It's the first date you can start to take, 62. There's some exceptions to that, as there are with all rules. You know, if you're widowed, you can take as early as 60. If you're disabled, you can take as early as 50. But basically, 62 is the earliest you can take. And if you take before, full retirement age, it's discounted. You get it earlier, but it's going to be at a discount. Then there's the age in the middle called full retirement age or normal retirement age. So if you're born from 43 to 54, it's 66 years of age. Goes up 2 months per year up to 1960. 1960 or later, it's 67 is full retirement age. So, in reality, in today's day and time, not the old timers, but 66 to 67, that's the least or the most of the full retirement age. And then the last year you got to take the money out or you just lose the money is 70. So you start at full retirement age. If you take earlier, you get it now, but it's discounted. It's at a discount. If you wait, then it's at a premium. If you take early, it's called an actuarial reduction. If you wait later, it's called a delayed retirement credit, DRC. So that's how Social Security in a nutshell works. Now, if you take it 62, you can see you're at full retirement age of 66. Yeah, you're gonna have a 25% reduction. 25% reduction. Well, that's a pretty healthy reduction, and that's a reduction for the rest of your life. Okay, so if you take early, you get a reduction. If you wait later than full retirement age, you get a delayed retirement credit of 8% a year guaranteed. 8%, can't be less. And remember, cost of living is on each one of those. So do you know what the cost of living is here for Social Security this year? 2018? 2%. 2%. And that's the highest it's been in 5 or 6 years. We had a couple years and everybody didn't make anything. Actually, 3 that almost made nothing. Yeah. But 8%. So, if you get a $2,000 benefit, you're getting 8% plus cost of living at 2%, 10%. You wait 1 year, it grows 200. You wait 2 years, it grows 400, 600, 800. I mean, it's a lot of money. You darn right it is. So let's talk a little bit about spousal benefits and how spousal benefits work. Okay. So let's just say that John's in the amount you have at full retirement age is called primary insurance amount, PIA. John's primary insurance amount, PIA, at FRA, full retirement age. Social Security loves acronyms. Yep. But John's PIA is 2,000 at 66. Jane's PIA is 800. So let's just say that Jane, they want to have some money to come into the family, so she takes her 800. And what happens is that say that John is going to take his 2,000. So they're both going to pull from their account. They're retired now. Well, Jane's 800, she has the option. She could take all of hers, which is 800, or she could go in and take half of her spouse's benefit if it's more than hers. Well, half of 2,000 is 1,000. So there's a $200 top up. So she makes $1,000, $200 more than her own. What happens if John took his and Jane was always an at-home mother? She never worked outside the house. Does not have you need 40 quarterly credits. A little over $5,000 in a year will get you 4 quarterly credits. That goes up with inflation. So that's for 218. But let's say Jane never worked. John takes his 2,000. Is Jane? She has no benefit on her own. Here, Jane did. But let's say she doesn't. Is she entitled to any money? Yep. All of hers, which is 0, or half of John's, which is 1,000, half of 2,000. Yeah. Pretty cool. So that's in a nutshell. We go through much more in depth when we're coaching of really how the Social Security works. But in a nutshell, that's how spousal benefit works. The divorce spousal benefit is probably one of the most unused benefits that there is. So many people who are divorced do not use this benefit. So let's talk about it. I call it the triple play in order if it comes into play for yourself, if you're claiming for a divorce benefit. Your marriage needed to last 10 years or more. If it lasted 5, not worth it. About a year ago, I gave advice. Couple was going, they were almost ready to divorce. They had 3 months left to make it out to 10 years. And I told them, just hold off for 3 months because you could both use each other's benefits. So they did. The person receiving the divorce spouse benefit cannot be married. Now, let's say you're married for 10 years, then you got divorced, you're divorced for 2 or 3, you got remarried, and then you got divorced, you're currently unmarried, and you claim for a divorce benefit. Yep. How about if the last one is your ex needs to be at least 62? So that's it. You need to be married for 10 years or longer, currently unmarried, your ex is at least 62. So let's say you're like Mickey Rooney. He had like 7, or Elizabeth Taylor, they had like 7 or 8 wives. But let's say, just for example, let's say one lasted 10 years, one lasted 11, and one lasted 10 of the 3. What happens is that the spouse, she can claim off of Mickey Rooney's benefits. All 3 of them can, as long as they're not remarried. And of course, Mickey Rooney, well, he died a couple, 3, 4 years ago. He was, he's always been over 62, it seems like. Yeah. It's one of the most liberal benefits that there is. Marriage lasted 10 years or more, not for both of them, just for the one electing. And the person receiving the divorce spouse benefits is currently unmarried at the time that they look at the benefit, and then the ex-spouse is at least 62. Yeah. Then you can use your ex just like you were still married to him, and you can use each other's just like you're still married to him. Pretty cool. Divorce benefit. Survivor, when somebody dies. So Joe and Julie, they're married, both over full retirement age. So probably they're both over 66. Joe's benefits $2,000, Julie's benefits $1,200. Joe dies. The guy dies first most of the times with the baby boomers. You know that? You know why that is? Because he elects to. That's a joke. Sometimes people laugh at that, and sometimes they don't. Women laugh harder. Yeah, but the guys normally die first. My mom's 94 right now. Dad died 12 years ago, or 13 years ago at 82. Yeah, 12 years ago. My mom-in-law died at 88, and my dad-in-law died at 81. So many times, and not always, but in today's day and time, normally there's a year or 2 difference between the man and the wife, with the man being older. So what happens here? Joe dies. Well, Julie has the option to keep her benefit, or she could let her benefit go and take her deceased husband's benefit. So there was a family benefit, 2,000 plus 1,200 of 3,200, wasn't there? Well, there isn't going to be a family benefit that's high once Joe dies, because one of the benefits has to be relinquished. And in this case, you'd want Julie's to be relinquished and for her to take Joe's benefit. Now, the interesting thing on this is this has to be requested from the Social Security office, or you could do it online, but you have to ask for it. I had a lady several years ago that her benefit was $1,400. Her husband's was a little over $1,800, and her husband had been gone for like 7 years. She had never jumped up to his benefit. Can you believe it? Yeah, like $400 a month. So it was over, $5,000 a year for 7 years. $35,000 she left on the table. We were able to do a do-over of 6 months of benefits that she got, but all the rest of that money she lost out on for just not having the background. And this is why it's so important to know Social Security claiming benefits. It will make you, this may not make you, the first part of this, I want to say, may not make you more money, but knowing Social Security will make you a better advisor for your client. There's only about 15 to 17% of advisors that know enough about Social Security that they could go on in and they could give a webinar like this or a seminar like I'm giving tonight. Wild. That doesn't make a difference if it's Merrill Lynch, if it's UBS, if it's Edward Jones, if it's the insurance agent down the street. Most people don't understand this topic. I mean, I didn't 6-7 years ago. My brother's a dentist, and he asked me, how many years do they take into account for a Social Security benefit when they tally it up after the age of 62 is when they start tallying it? Well, heck, I thought maybe 10 years. He looked it up, and he calls me back and says, it's 35, Dave. And I was embarrassed. I mean, I should know that. I'm in the business. He's a dentist. He works on teeth. And I got to know Social Security very, very well. So, yeah. So that's how Survivor. How about coordinating spousal benefits? Well, the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015, it phased out, file, and suspend, but restricted application is if you're born on or before January 1st of 1954, so you were of the age of 62 by 1/1 of 2016, you can restrict your application. Now, what happens is that because this is gone now, it is phased out, but restricted. So follow me with this. This is pretty fun. Restricted application, at full retirement age. Let's say Mike and Mary, they're both 66. Mary wants some money coming into the household. She brings in $800, but Mike does not. He's still working. He doesn't want to take his. Well, he could get the 8% delayed retirement credit, but because he was 62 after 1/1 of 50, he was 62 on 1/1 before 1/1 of 216. What happens is that he is going to start his and stop his, so he's not going to receive any income from his. He's going to earn the delayed retirement credits of 8% plus cost of living, which is 10% this year. And then he's able to take a spousal benefit. And what's he do? He restricts his application to half of his wife's Social Security. He's going to go in and he's going to get $400. That $400, it's free money. $4,800 a year, over $19,000 in 4 years. He can turn it back on. He can on his anytime, but if he waits to 70, he will have collected $19,200, and his has grown up now 8% a year. And 8% a year is $2,640. But what about if you throw a 2 or 2.5 or 3% cost of living might be $2,800. It's a big deal. Now, the higher earning spouse has to be at least full retirement age. He has to at least be 66 to be able to do this. Okay? Unless it's divorced, okay, you can only use one spousal benefit at a time. Okay? So this is called restricted application. It's that free money. Letting it grow for the bigger wage earner and taking half of your spouse's benefit. Pretty cool. Now, what's going to surprise you is what you can and cannot do when it comes to Social Security at the Social Security Administration office. So first of all, they can, when you go in there, they can estimate your individual benefits. They can tell you the amount you're entitled to now. You know what they can't do? They can't say, hey, you should be restricting your application. They can't do that. They cannot offer advice. Now, here's amazing. This is actual taking the claim at the Social Security Administration office. Look at D. Provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. My gosh. Isn't that something? On the front of my door, it says investment advisor. Can you imagine a person coming in and saying, hey, Dave, can you give me some investment advising advice? No, can't talk about investments here, but a lot of other things. I can't give advice. I can't recommend. And you know what that does for us? Leaves the door wide open. That's what we do. We give professional, timely advice. And if you're not doing it with Social Security claiming, you should. And I'll tell you, learning on your own, you can. You absolutely, there's books out there, good books, and there's things you can do, but it's hard. But having someone who you can bounce off questions, once you work with me, you can call me anytime you want to. You can email me anytime you want to keep that relationship going on Social Security. Now, the actual slide does not have that evaluation form, but this goes hand in hand. That's the evaluation form we want. An opportunity to take action. Yes, I do, or no, I don't. And there's dates and times. But I talk about the 5 pillars of income. Work, pensions, RMDs, required minimum distributions that you have to take at 7.5. Then we talk about income producing assets. So retirements, 401ks, IRAs, Roths, brokerage accounts, bank money, life insurance, real estate, farm income, etc. And then how Social Security is the most flexible of all of these, meaning if you've worked for 32 years and you're going to work 4 more years, how much is your pension going to change? Not much. How about Social Security? Oh, no. If you let it grow the guaranteed 8% plus COLA, no. You know, it can grow 40 to 50% more in those 4 years time period. It's a big deal. It's flexible. You can start it when you want to. Okay? And then, so when we're asking that, we get that evaluation form. We get that right at the workshop itself. We have them sign up tonight. I hope I get 5 to 7 appointments tonight. I certainly think I will. I've got about 12 buying units coming in, and I should certainly half of those should come into an appointment. Okay, any questions? Sorry, type them in. Now, there is a cost for seminars. It's not for the faint at heart. You know, you've got the system, which we don't do this in-house. We buy Social Security, Horsesmouth Social Security Savvy system. Costs $512, and if you renew that in a year, it's between $300 and $400. But that gives you not just the PowerPoint, which I've changed some to make it a little more user friendly, but it also goes on in and it gives you the software to go in and run the report, and that's what those people want. Elaine Floyd with Horsesmouth put that together. It's a very, very good system. They've got about 300 pages of reading material. It's good stuff. Well worth the $500 that you're paying. I have presented over 400, it's like 470 public seminars. I try to make a complicated subject much easier to understand. There's 30 some attachments, because a lot of those are articles that we talked about. So if we talk about divorce spouse benefits, I'll have an article go out there. We talk about survivor benefits, I have an article to go out to you. There's a couple of books that are very good to read. No meals are served. The transitioning into actually doing business, it's a trick. It's a two-edged sword, and I want you on the right edge. And to do that, you need to follow a track. That's and I give you full support. So as we're just about done here, and then I'm going to put Steve on, we're going to put a poll up. If you'd like to go in and you'd like to have a consultation with myself, say for 25 to 30 minutes, talking about Social Security, maybe what seminars can do to your practice by marketing Social Security, then mark yes. If you're not interested, certainly mark no. Okay? But there's something interesting. I always say when I'm at the workshop itself, I'll say procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Never comes around, does it? Tomorrow never comes. I have a man cave room downstairs, and my wife about 4 or 5 years ago got me a sign that said free beer tomorrow. I'll bet on that every day of the week. Don't let that happen to you. If you saw something here that you think is interesting that could help your business, then certainly mark yes on that consultation form. Okay? So as we're waiting for Steve to come back in, if you have any questions, bring those on up. Type them on in. We will answer those for you. And I'll tell you right now, of all of the seminars that I've done, gosh almighty, I've done a lot of different types of seminars through the years. But of all the seminars that I've done, I will say this. There isn't probably one seminar that has been consistently popular of bringing people in as Social Security. Social Security, people have questions on Social Security. People go in and they certainly want information on Social Security. So what happens is that what happens is that when you're talking about Social Security, I think it's very, very important that it's very important that you go in and I'm sorry, I was going to keep that up on the screen. It's very, very important that you go on in and you look at who your crowd is. You go in and you see who am I going to go in and prospect. And that age group of the age of 57, 58 years of age, that's the first time they started thinking about Social Security claiming. Okay, that's the very first time. What happens is that as they get closer to full retirement age, they know that they probably are going to start taking Social Security. You know what? If I asked you how many people wait until 70 to actually take their Social Security, you know what happens is that only 3 or 4% of the people actually go on in and take Social Security there. Yeah. That's all. Most people take early. So once they go in and they hear the actual Social Security seminar, then what happens is that they mark yes. They mark yes because they want to come in and talk to me. And as we're doing the pillars of income, what happens is that a part of that is talking about how Social Security, how it complements the other pillars of income. Yeah. And the other pillars of income, what happens is that one of those are investable assets. So when you look at investable assets, you're uncovering 401ks and IRAs and bank money. Yeah. And when you're looking at that, basically you're asking them, are you happy with the type of return on that CD you got, or on that 100,000 that's in money market, or who knows? I mean, the brokerage account that had Equifax that went way down in it, and when you ask them that, you're vying for that business. And do you get every single one? No. No, you certainly do not. But can you go in and get a fair amount of of the people to say, "Hey, I'm open to let you propose to me"? You are. So remember, the seminar does not close the business. The information from the seminar on Social Security claiming and the seminar itself, what it does is it goes in and gives you the opportunity to work with those people. Yeah, that's all it does. So it isn't going to close. You're going to close the business. But our profession, it's pretty simple. Our profession is getting in front of enough people and then closing those people. So Steve is going to go on in and he's going to launch the poll right now. And if you'd like to go in and you'd like to have a 25-minute talk with us, with myself, then just mark yes. Then Lynn or Amy, my two administrators, one of them will call you, and then we'll get a good time here in the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to turn it over to Steve, and we can answer some of the questions also. And I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dave. Great stuff as always. It's not often that we get the pleasure of having Dave right here in the office, and watching his arms move and his facial expressions while he's doing that is just a joy for all of us. I wish you could see it. Obviously, Dave has got a lot of expertise here, and we've seen a lot of success with Social Security claiming and seminars around those. And probably, as I mentioned at the outset, probably more success there than with any other program that we've ever launched. So very pleased with how that's going. I think a couple keys that we all need to be keeping in mind is that Dave is currently doing the seminars himself. He's currently in production. He's currently working very closely with Social Security and Social Security claiming. All those are important to you if you're looking at, partnering up with somebody that's really truly not only has expert information, but is current and on the ball. Secondly, great staff. He's got Amy and Lynn in his office who are just crackerjack at making sure that everything is set up and going the way that it's supposed to. One of the reasons that we don't offer seminar opportunities anymore without that one-on-one assistance is that there are too many opportunities for just small mistakes that can make a huge difference. We've never had any issue with Dave's team working with our producers and ever missing out on any opportunities because of a small oversight. So we think that's really key. That's an opportunity for success multiplied really from our standpoint. So we think that there's no better opportunity out there right now for you if you're working and looking for some Social Security claiming opportunities. I think I'm fairly objective about that. We've got all the pieces in place for you to be successful. So if you have interest, if you want to grow your business in that space, Social Security claiming seminars is a great way to do it. It's of all the ways that you can do seminars, probably the least intimidating. You're not paying for meals. You're not there from an entertainment standpoint. You're really there just to impart information, which that information is all made available to you, and then setting up that appointment. So we hope that you'll take opportunity there to give us or Dave a call. Number here, of course, 800-255-5055. We're glad to put you right in touch with Dave. So I'm going to check too and see if there's any questions, if you give me just one moment. Okay, so one of you had a question about which books would you recommend. So Dave is standing here with me. Do you want to give him a couple thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? I read probably 16, 17, 18 books. And there are some books, and normally but one of the books, and there's three books that I recommend, and I will mention one. There's a book by a fellow by the name of Piper, Piper. It's Social Security Made Simple. It's an easy read. You can read the book within 2 hours. But there's two other books too, and then there's the information from Horsesmouth. Um, that also is extremely good about all updated laws and stuff. And if you think that you'll just coach with me and you're going to know everything about Social Security, you're wrong. I mean, I certainly can help you, but it's like there's some homework. I mean, you got to study between maybe 5, 6, 7 hours a week for 4 or 5 weeks to really get a good feel. So maybe that kind of helps you out. Another quick question somebody had was just what's the total cost? And let me just run through the numbers. I can just real quickly. You know, we try to mail out 6,000 pieces. Sometimes we'll run some social media with that, has a little more cost, but 6,000 pieces. And our mail house is 55 cents for a full color piece front and back. It's pretty sharp. It's a good look. That's going to cost $3,300. If you have social media, it runs between $200 and $500 to bring a few more kind of fill up the holes of it. There is no meals, but you do have to buy the outside source of Horsesmouth for $500. And if there's any cost when you rent the room at the library, or like we have to get a library card, or you rent the room at the college, some of those charge $50 or $100 per night. But you know, $3,500 to $4,000 is normally what you're going to be marketing for the workshop itself. And what we want to get is a minimum of 10 appointments. If we get 10 appointments, like I just did business, like I said, with the fella on a workshop here about 4 weeks ago. And you know, that was the third piece of business from that workshop. So, you know, I'm in front of people. I'm swinging all the time. And when you're swinging at prospects, you know, you're bound to get a hit from time to time. And that's what happens here. So what happens is that my goal is to bring on, if I can bring on $250,000 from the workshop, either it could be all fixed index, it could be part investments, it could be fee based for me. With yourself, if your insurance license, it might be a fixed indexed or fixed, it might be life insurance. You know, you're going to show of what you have your expertise in. But as far as assets under management, I look at 250,000. If it's below that, I think it was subpar. If it's above that, then it's probably better than normal. And I will tell you what, there's a lot of large money floating around from 401ks, not just in the current plan, but also in plans that are obsolete or kept with the company that no one is managing. There's something also called in-service non-hardship withdrawal plans. That means that if you're working and you're over the age of 59 and a half, like if you're working with IBM or you're working with Microsoft or you're working with Valmont, you can actually take your monies out and work with an outside agent. And that has been very, very profitable. We can certainly talk about that too if you sign up on the consultation after the webinar. Okay, so let's see. We got one more question that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to try to get everybody out here on time. It says, is it true that whether you take it early or wait until FR or beyond and only live to life expectancy, the total benefit is about the same? Yes, that's right. That's right. So actuarially, it doesn't make a difference whether you take it early at 62 or 64, or you wait to full retirement age of 66, or you wait to 70. Actuarially, it all comes out about the same. Now, I will say this. My dad died at 82. My mom's taking his benefit. She just turned, she's like 94 and a half. Well, she beat the system. And remember, singly, you are exactly right on that question. But what about if you're married and you can jump to the bigger spouse's benefit? No. Then all of a sudden the age comes down, doesn't it? Then you're better off if you delay because you got 2 life expectancies and not 1. And I don't push to go in and wait. I just give it as just one of the options so they understand, and then they can make the decision themselves. I want them to mark yes on the consultation form and come in, and I want to talk to them one-on-one. That's extremely important. Okay, I'm going to switch it over to Steve, and then he will finish up the webinar.
I just want to thank everyone for coming. I know that there's a lot of things that you can do with your day. Tuesdays tend to be a little bit busy, and we're talking about doing business a lot on a Tuesday. And the fact that you took some time out of your schedule to join us today means a lot to us. And any way that we can help you, we're certainly will. That's what we're about here at IAMS, is making sure that we're giving you the right training, products, incentives, and assistance to grow your business. So any way that we can help you with that, we're always open to it. Obviously, anything that we can help you with, if you're interested in getting into the Social Security claiming seminar business, give us a call. We'd love the opportunity. Have a great finish to your work week. Have a great finish to your day. And again, thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to join us.
I was so proud of you. You came in exactly at 10 till. I had like 20 seconds left.